Oklahoma. Mr. Lucas is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Chairman Gensler and the Commissioners for appearing today. I'd like to begin by focusing on proposed Rule 10B-1 regarding security-based swaps positions. And Chairman Gensler, we've discussed this proposal before, and I appreciate your willingness to engage on this rule and to meet with stakeholders. I know you're familiar with the bipartisan feedback concerning market liquidity. Chairman, would you first briefly touch on if the Commission is still taking the bipartisan feedback into consideration? And I'd also appreciate it if Commissioner Peirce would offer insight on that as well. But first you, Commissioner.
Yes, and your feedback was very helpful because you helped write this provision in the original bill, and I remember it because we worked together on some of that legislation. So while a comment period closed months ago, if feedback comes in, just like this discussion here, we continue to consult and consider that in this. This is about whether in securities-based swaps, there's some reporting or transparency for the larger positions to the agency, and secondly, whether there's any public reporting of that. And there was a lot of comments in the comment file to maybe look to just have the reporting to the agency and not have it public, but we're still considering that record.
Commissioner Peirce.
I mean, I think this project is pretty typical of a lot of rulemaking projects at the SEC. We go out with something really broad and very onerous and lacking the data to form the basis for it. And then we get comment back saying, hey, this is unworkable. It's going to have really adverse unintended consequences. And we pull back, and so we're thinking about it now, and I don't know where we'll come out. But I will say if we get it wrong, then we really risk roiling the markets. And so I hope we will take that consideration into account.
The gentleman from New York, Mr. Lawler, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chair Gensler, nearly 3 years ago, the Commission proposed a rule to require the public disclosure of relatively small security-based swap positions, Rule 10B-1. It met significant bipartisan opposition both within this committee and on the Agriculture Committee because of the significant potential for market disruption, undermining of shareholder rights and corporate accountability, and encouragement of dangerous practices like copycatting and herding that the Commission itself has warned about. Given the lack of statutory authority to proceed with such a proposal, its near certainty of being overturned in the courts, and the vast bipartisan opposition, are you willing to confirm, yes or no, that you do not intend to proceed with this harmful proposal that would waste Commission resources and undermine its future authority?
Still considering comments. We do have statutory authority under Dodd-Frank, but there was a lot of, you're right, a lot of comments that said maybe the Commission could collect the information but not make it public. But we're still
So at this time, you're
comments.
still willing to proceed forward?
We're still considering comments. I'm not prejudging where I would come out or where my fellow commissioners would come out.
Commissioner Peirce?
We heard a lot of feedback, which didn't surprise me because when we went out, we didn't have the data we needed to go out with that rule. We'll see how the Commission decides to move forward, but I continue to have real concerns about the effect it could have on the market.